This is how you beat 99% of producers in 90 days without any kind of luck. This is all about how to make money. I'm currently in Tokyo, Japan, working from wherever I want and making money online while ridiculously profitable because of the advice I'm about to give you today. What I'm going to show you is simple, but hard because it requires commitment and no excuses. I cannot do anything for you if throughout this journey you give yourself outs or excuses.
What I hate to admit is that it took me almost 10 years to understand that the goal is not to run a business, nor is it even to make money. It's to build a business that keeps the majority of the money so that all of the hours you put in actually make sense. Most people that start a business work 80 hours a week, and by the end of the year, the amount of money they make doesn't make sense for the amount of risk. When I worked at Fenton's, the moment I would clock out, I would not think about that place until I was right back there. With a business, I can never turn it off. I'm making a video at 3:30 in the morning and I'm waking up at 2:30 a.m. in Japan every day in order to keep up with my businesses, right? The difference is that I love what I do and I hope to make an impact on people's lives and their businesses. I want you to make a lot of money and I hope that my experiences help you do that. And so getting up early isn't really an issue for me because I'm passionate about what I do. And most importantly, my profit margins are so high that I can justify doing things like this because it makes sense for me at the end of the year.
Every person on earth has a unique way of doing things and their own life experiences. And whether you realize it or not, that combo is your competitive edge in any market. I'm going to use the basketball analogy. Basketball isn't a skill, it's the title of many skills working together. Dribbling, shooting, passing, defense, rebounding, you get the point. When people tell me they are bad at basketball, they really mean they're weak at a skill or skills within the title of basketball. Let's translate it to business. And why does this matter? Stop chasing the identity of business owner or entrepreneur or musician and start training the pieces. You already have some strengths from your background, so use them as your edge. Pick one weak skill at a time, train it, stack it, repeat, and replicate before you iterate. How to apply this? List your top 3 strengths from real life. So producing, writing, organizing, I don't know, I'm not you. 2, list 1 to 2 of your weakest skills, blocking progress. Oftentimes it is making offers, learning sales, making good products, making content. These are the common struggles that I run into when dealing with producers. You're gonna pick one weak skill and you're gonna do 20 daily reps. Ideally for this video, you avoid anything in relation to music and you focus on entrepreneurship or business as a whole and identify some of your weak areas, because whether you accept it or not, that will make or break whether or not you can do this for a living full time. If you just focus on music and getting your skills up and networking and meeting new people, you will never actually train the business side, which will allow you to make a living from this. You're gonna post something weekly that uses your strengths while you train your weak links. Now, how do we make you money? Because that's what this video is all about. Rule number 1 is know what you are offering. And for the sake of this video, I am talking about digital products and having a website. Killer products happen by solving your own problems. And what does that look like? You identify your problem, you solve it, you write it down, you figure out how to turn that into a product. Skool, my producer union community, was initially created to store everything I had learned about the music industry to help producers scale and go full time. This has turned into people getting more placements, making more money, having clarity in their career. And I knew that it would be beneficial to others because I was solving my own problem first, and I recognized it as a high value problem. Another thing I built is called Link, and it was created after spending tons of money on websites that never made me more money, when all that really mattered was how could I increase my average order value? How could I simplify my site and landing page so that I could just focus on the product and sales and getting more customers to buy into what I'm doing? Once you have identified your problem, you've solved it, documented it, and now turned it into a product, you need to thoroughly understand your product or service and how it solves customer problems. And here are the 2 biggest mistakes I see musicians or entrepreneurs make. Mistake number 1 is creating a product to solve your money issue instead of a customer issue. People smell that shit from a mile away. It gives car salesman energy, and if you just made a product that was valuable, people would happily give you their money. Money doesn't need to be this weird taboo where people don't talk about it. I love money. I am in Tokyo Tokyo, Japan because of it. And after this video, I'm going to send this to my editor, shout out to you, Nathan, and I'm going to go explore Tokyo for what it is and eat great food. I can do that because I'm trying to provide as much value to people as I can. And I think that's a big fault a lot of people make, is they sort of dance around this idea of making money. Mistake number 2, you kind of know what your product does for the customer, but not really. If you want additional help after this video, I just shot a workshop today. By the time you see this video, it'll be tomorrow. And I spent an hour and a half going over how to create your first digital product successfully and how to become great at sales. So I want you to take that producer hat off and listen to what I'm about to say. This is what has allowed me to live the dream life. And so number 1, 100 days of thinking loses to 1 single day of action every time. You will learn more from that one day than the 100 days of thinking. And so action is your greatest teacher. Mentors are your second. Failure is what everybody's worried about, right? Failure only occurs when you close shop and give up. And that is your decision to make, nobody else's. Pivoting in business is strategic and keeps you thriving. And I think a lot of people see pivoting as failure when it's not. It's doing what is required in order to make sure your business scales over time. And if you look at any truly successful company, what their first product was is nothing like what their product is today. And go and look up some of the biggest companies in the world and see what they were doing 100 years ago versus now. Shiny object syndrome is keeping you poor. Say no more often. I struggle with this, especially because as I've become more successful, people come to me with really great ideas. And it gets really hard to say no because I think, wow, this would be amazing. Figure it out as you go. It will never be perfect. Get over it. Stop trying to make everything perfect. Stop waiting for it to be ready. It's never going to be ready. Just put it out. You'll get better over time. I always think I could make my YouTube videos better, but I know if I just make 1,000 YouTube videos, they'll just get better. Number 2, raise your prices 2 to 3x. Just do it already. Trust me, most businesses are broke. All those businesses you see in your city, most of them make less than the average salary in America. And in fact, some of them just lose money and go out of business. So you need to raise your prices. Don't follow the market, follow your value. You need to figure out what are your gross profit versus net profit margins. If you make $100, but it costs $10 to operate your business, then you make 90. Number 3, don't run $1 million business with 100K in profit. That's horrible. The amount of risk, stress, and hours you will put in to make $1 million a year to only walk away with $100,000. If you take those same skills you've acquired to make that happen and just go consult for a company, you'll make $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a year with way less risk, way less hours, and no risk financially because you're just getting paid to show up and do what you do. I cannot state it enough. The end goal is not having a business. The end goal is not even making money with your business. The end goal is having a business that makes money that you bring home and keep. Successful products almost always come from solving your own problems first. I can attest to that. Every single successful product I've had, I solved my own problem first. Entrepreneurship is a title, a combination of skills. Study your weaknesses. Don't say I'm bad at business. Identify what it is within business that you are bad at and make it better. Number 3, dopamine control. Rewire your brain to enjoy boredom, aka work. In Japan, I get up at about 2:30 in the morning every single day so that I can keep up with LA time. And then I work on content uninterrupted for 6-ish hours. And I do this because it is required. I like making content. I like writing. But sometimes I'm just sitting here like, oh, let me just get this stuff done. I do it because it has helped me rewire my brain to enjoy boredom. Don't reach for your phone first thing in the morning. Get out of bed. So my phone auto bricks in the morning because of this, so I can't use it. It's the best thing ever. Wake up early. Every time I wake up, I go and take a cold shower right away. My thought process is if I can wake up and take a cold shower, 1, I'll be awake, and 2, it sucks. So everything else will be a cakewalk from there. Avoid breakfast. Eat after you've completed your work for the day. Look, this works for me. I have some stomach issues, and so usually when I eat food in the morning, it just makes me tired and my brain foggy, and then I'm not executing at the highest level. So I avoid breakfast. Repeat hard life now, easy life later. Every time you want to quit or you don't feel like doing it or you're worried about other people, remember that you're not suffering alone. Everybody else is going through this too, and they're all thinking the same shit. And so if you just remind yourself, I am choosing a hard life now for an easy life later. I am in that stage of my life is still quote unquote hard, but it is so much more enjoyable versus 10 years ago. And that's because I run a successful, profitable business and I can be anywhere, do anything whenever I feel like it because I have chosen a hard life for over 10 years now. Last one, don't do it later. Do it right now. You will regret an easy life right now. You will be so angry that you wasted your youth choosing dopamine and doom scrolling. Number 4, screw a budget. Just track where each dollar goes monthly. I use an app called Every Dollar. Once you know where your money goes, you can adjust your spending. I was horrible with my money for the longest time. I started to see where all my money was going, and I naturally started to cut a few things back or kill off a certain subscription or just have financial goals where I'm like, dude, why am I spending $1,000 a month on Erewhon? Once you just see an app and it tracks where all your money goes, you're like, dude, what am I doing with my life? And so it's not about making money, it's about keeping your money. I know a lot of people that make $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a year, but their life costs them $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, $500. So if they got fired, God forbid, or their business struggled, they would be in a tough situation. I have cut my life back so much. Number 3, make having $10,000 in the bank your life's mission. Then make it 100 grand. What will happen in your brain when you have $10,000 in cash will be life-changing. Set up a Roth through Fidelity today. So go to fidelity.com, set up a Roth. If you put $583 in a Roth every single month, 30 to 40 years from now, I know it's boring to think about, but 30 to 40 years from now, you will be a millionaire no matter what. So you're gonna live that long anyways. You can find the money, but you gotta figure out where your money's going first. Number 5, avoid consumer debt like the plague. The amount of people that are unaware of how much money they're paying in interest on their maxed out credit cards or their student loan or their car or whatever is insane. Once you count all the interest you pay, you'll realize you spend many weeks, months, or even years just paying interest. You show up to work for free. Number 5, work under someone 5 to 10 years ahead of you so you get better faster. Doing it alone just means more pain, more money spent, and longer time delays. That was me. I was that guy. I got to say I did it all by myself. That sucks. When I see people flex doing stuff alone, or I see people flexing their nice BMW, I think, wow, that's a really painful car note because I've been there. And 2, you dealt with tremendous amounts of pain. Your best friends should make you uncomfortable from how much they win. I don't mean be jealous of them and want bad things to happen. I mean that they should be winning so often that you are getting uncomfortable because you are not winning enough with them. Number 4, this is without a doubt the main reason people either succeed or they don't succeed. Be okay with letting people's expectations of you down. Make yourself proud. The amount of people that have tried to tell me how I should live my life or how I should do things is absurd. And I have thankfully never cared because I'm in the driver's seat of my life and I have to live with every decision that I make. When I first started making music and being an entrepreneur, everybody in my life was worried about the decisions that I was making. And if I took their advice, I would not be here today, financially free, living my dream and getting to help other people do the same. 5, what would your regrets be if you only had 1 month left to live? For a lot of people, it's they wish they would have taken the risks, they wish they would have traveled more, but think about what you would do and change differently and make that decision today. I've created my ideal life through blood, sweat, and tears. I'm not gonna lie and tell you this is easy. It's not, but man, it's worth it. Every day is a gift. I feel really blessed. I have to thank God for all that I have, and I thank you guys for watching every single video. Make sure to like the video so that you can watch it later. Keep me updated on what are some of your skills, what are some of your weaknesses. Let me know in the comments and tell me what you want to see next for my video because I've been struggling to figure out what do I put out. A ton of different ideas, but I want your help. My name is Half. For those of you who don't know me, I run the #1 music community on skool.com. I run Splitmind, which is a production publishing company. I run Drumify, which is a sounds marketplace for producers to set up their first website. And I have been making money from digital products for the last 10 years. Thanks so much, guys. Take care.